Hey team, Coach Cam here. Just wanted to come and talk to y'all about recruiting. I definitely want to make sure that if you plan on recruiting or hiring tax professionals to work with you, then you need to be on this Indeed play. You can get you can get more recruits or more new hires, I should say, than you know what to do with. So I definitely want to make sure that everybody is taking advantage of it. So let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. Obviously, everything starts with our Success Hub. So you want to make sure you're visiting the Success Hub on a daily basis. And as always, you want to make sure you're reading your PTS Prepared Manifesto on a daily basis. And, you want to watch your Master Key to Influence as well. But back to the topic at hand. So what you want to do is you want to go over here to the marketing tab. And when you get over here, you will see that we have some information here. Actually, I've updated it. Give me 1 second to refresh this screen. Let's go back to the marketing tab. So yeah. So basically the video that you're watching right now, it'll be here. It'll be the very first video. When you come to the marketing tab and go on the recruiting Indeed ad walkthrough, it'll be the very first video here. So as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going to upload it here. That way you can come back and watch it as many times as possible as you want to. So this is how this goes. Now, I got a sample Indeed ad right here. So you just open that up and you'll be able to see my exact Indeed ad. And then you just simply create you a free Indeed account. Now, I love that because other platforms require you to do paid ads. You can actually set up and run a free ad on Indeed. So doesn't get any better than free. So once you get that ad set up on Indeed, you will start getting emails, right? So let me go here to my email. Hopefully y'all can see this, but you'll start getting emails like this. So you'll see action required, new application for remote entry-level tax preparers, right? So you're going to start getting a ton of these emails. And you simply want to open the email, right? And then you can just click on see full application and you will be able to see inside of your Indeed account, you will be able to see the information you need. So this is that person. And then you just open it up and you paste the information that I'm about to share with you here and hit send. So you can simply go over back to the Success Hub, and then you see here it says frequently asked questions and replies to Indeed ad. So if you click on that, it's going to give you a bunch of responses. So here it is, initial response to leads from your Indeed ad. So you can just simply go here and copy, all right, this response, right? Go back over to your email and paste it in. And then you got a perfect response to people that are interested in knowing. Now you can update this. This it says I'm Coach Cam, obviously it's coming from me. So you can tweak that a little bit, but all the information you need to send them is right there for their review. Even some links for them to click on. Where did I just see that link? Yeah, so some links for them to click on to get additional information. And then you can put to your success, and then you can put your name there. For me, it's going to be Coach Cam. And then you simply send it. So you just responded to that applicant that was interested in your position. Now, One thing about this platform is it's going to give you a lot of applicants, but there will also be a ton of applicants. For example, you'll see stuff like if you come over here to let me show you where I went. You come over here to the candidates um, tab, and then you'll be able to see every candidate. All right. As you can see, that's 1,264 candidates. All right, 227 are new. I've already responded to 1,032. So, um, so these are people who kind of meet your qualifications, but you'll also see people here that say we didn't find matching qualifications. So these people don't necessarily meet the qualification, but I don't want to rule anyone out. So even those people, you're not going to get an email with these people's information if they don't meet the match the qualifications. But even for these people, I'm gonna come all the way over here and I'm going to hit message. And guess what? I'm going to send them a message anyway, the exact same message, just like if they were interested, right? So I'm going to send them that same message, hit send. Guess what? Everybody's getting this message, whether Indeed thinks they're a match or qualify for the position or not. Everybody's going to get this message. Another thing is, I wanted to point out is I started this, I ran this Indeed ad beginning November 13th. Today is December 13th. So it's been exactly 30 days. So as you can see, I have 1,264 people in here that I can communicate with, right? I've already communicated with 1,032. Now, out of that 1,032, keep in mind, this is a numbers game, right? So out of that 1,032, I've had like almost 90 people actually express interest and go as far as filling out the intake application to join the team. Now, obviously, once they do that, we still need them to get their P10. So, it's a process. You want to guide people through the process, right? So I'm still waiting on half of those people to get their P10s, but half of them has already turned in their P10. They're in the system. They're ready to rock and roll. They're getting training, and they're here, right? And if you're watching this, you may be one of them. That just shows you that the process works, right? So make sure if you intend to hire people now, hiring and recruiting and building an agency is completely optional, right? Not everyone will do that. So if this is not for you, you can just skip this video. If you're only here to get clients and prepare taxes and you're not going to do any hiring or team building or building your agency, you can skip right over this video. It's not for you. But for those who intend to, you still have time to take advantage of this. From time to time, people will have additional questions once you send them that initial message. They'll have additional questions. So they'll send those questions to your email and you'll see. So like, here's a new app. Here's a new app. That one I just responded to, there's a new app. So they're still coming in. But I was trying to find maybe someone who had a message. So if you see something that say action required, then you know that's a new app. Go ahead and send them that initial response. But then you'll see stuff like this, new message, where one of those people actually sent you a message. They have a question or they got a comment, and you can just click on it just the same way and respond to that. But you are on the Indeed platform communicating with these people. That's why in most of my messages, as you can see, if you come back over to the Success Hub, in most of my messages, I put a statement in here like this, right? Because we are communicating through the Indeed platform, the links I'm sharing aren't clickable. So when you send them that, they may not be able to click on the link. More than likely, they will not be able to click on the link and watch whatever video or whatever information I'm sharing with them, because this Indeed platform isn't making those links clickable. So it said you'll need to copy and paste them into a new browser window to access them, or provide me with an email address to send clickable links. So a lot of times when you get that message from people, it's just them giving you their email address. Then you just send them this exact same thing, right? You just resending it, but you're sending it to through their email and not through the Indeed platform. When they get it through their email, these links there'll be hyperlinks, right? They'll be highlighted where they can actually click on them. So another thing I wanted to point out is when you're looking at these questions, you get a lot of different responses and questions. So this is the initial response that you send out. Now, if you don't get any type of response after a few days, I did create a follow-up email for you can go back and follow up and send them this second email if you have time. Sometimes you may get into a situation where you got so many leads coming in, you don't even have time to double back in response unless you set it up on some sort of autoresponder, right? But if you're doing it manually, you may not even have the opportunity to circle back and send them a follow-up response. You're just so busy dealing with the people who actually responded or replied to the initial email. But if someone says, like, I'm having trouble opening the links, even though you put that message in there, sometimes people just breeze over it or don't see it for whatever reason. They didn't read your initial response thoroughly. So you just actually just copy that and send it right back to them again. This platform will not allow you to click on the link. So you're just sending them that exact same response all over again. What if someone say, is this a commission-based job? I'm not really feeling commissions. You know, they're looking for an hourly type position. I got a response there that you send right back to them. When does the training start? I got a response that you send to them. Now, keep in mind, if somebody decide to move forward and they fill out the job form, that's going to come directly to me, unless you create your own job form, and you can do that, your own intake. You can do that, and I'll put it come back here. So what I'm going to do immediately after this video is I'm going to put a jot form here where you can kind of utilize it and they can complete it. And then once you get it, you forward the jot form to me, because me or somebody on my team will have to actually put them in the system and set up their software and stuff like that. So even if you have them come directly to you, you still got to forward them to me. But if somebody that you referred or that you got from your Indeed ad fills that out, it asks, how did they hear about us? Who referred them? And if they put your name, that's good. I still recommend you doing your own, because sometimes they'll just put Indeed, right? And they don't put the person's actual name. And then I got to do some digging to find out who the actual person was. So I recommend you doing your own. Um, I'll put the instructions there, because if you, like, for example, if you come over here to tools, you can see it shows you how to clone a form in Jotform. So you can create a free Jotform account out, and then you can copy and paste. You can click on the link for the Jotform, paste it into your account, and clone it into your account and utilize it. So here's the instructions. Like I said, it's under the tools tab. So I'll put the link that you need here in the marketing area, but you can come to tools if you need instructions on how to clone that link into your own Jotform account so that you can get your own leads in. Once you send it to me, then it's kind of, once you get someone to fill out your form, you send it to me, then it's kind of out of your hands at that point. I'll get them in the system. I'll send them follow-up letters to make sure that they're getting their PT in, and talking to them about training and going through the process. At that point, I've already linked them to you. So we just now put them in the system and let the system work on getting them through the process. But make sure, if you're recruiting, that you're utilizing the Indeed platform. So back to these frequently asked questions, we got a lot of good responses. Even if someone say, I'm not interested, we still give them a nice response. Um, and still give them a second opportunity, let them know that we still here if they change their mind, whatever, right? If somebody asks, what is the cost? Like, we got the whole thing broken down. So just about any type of response you get, if you come here to this section, you'll be able to find an appropriate response to that. I even get applications from people outside of the US, and they'll say, like, I'm in whatever country, or I don't live in the US, can I still do this? We even have a response for those type of people. Um, this says, thank you for your interest. It talks about the P10 and the process. It lets them know if they're able to get a P10, and I give them instructions, but I let them know the ball is totally in their court. If they can go through that process, it's a process for getting a P10 when you live outside of the US. But if they can go through that process and get it, then we can see about working with them. But we don't have time to try to help them with that process, right? So that's explained in the email. So everything that you're going to need is going to be here, just in general, like just doing this business. I will attempt to put every single thing that you'll need on the Success Hub, but right now we're talking specifically about recruiting. So you want to make sure that you're utilizing the Indeed platform. Now, I would say probably January, the first week of January. Yeah, first, second week in January, I wouldn't bring on any people without experience. Now, if they're experienced preparers, they've been working somewhere else in the past, so they know how to do taxes. I recruit people all year. It doesn't matter. Somebody can come to me on April the 1st. If they experience and they want to get started with us because they had an issue where they were, or for whatever reason, they want to make a change, or it doesn't matter. If they come to us and they experience, we're going to get them started no matter what time of the year it is. All right. They can come to me in June. It doesn't matter if they're experienced. But if they're new people, you really don't want to be getting people with zero experience started any later than about mid-January, because you don't really have time to work with them and bring them up to speed. At that point, you're busy trying to get your own customers, work with your own people that you've already brought on, what have you. You're pretty busy at that point. So I will bring on inexperienced people up to about mid-January. But then after that, I've kind of cut it off until we get through the tax season for unexperienced people. But like I said, experienced people, we actually hire them all year long. So that's what I wanted to share. If you have any questions, reach out to me. But I'm in the process of making some updates here, so I'll be adding more documents, more features. But if you have any questions about that Indeed process and what you need to be doing, definitely reach out to me so that we can get you set up and on the way, so you'll have the opportunity to build you a team. Before I get off here, let me show you one last thing. I want to go over to so I got approximately, you remember I said I got about 90 or so people. So let's just call it 90 people have filled out the application and said they're ready to go. They just got to get their P10. But out of those 90 people, about 40 of those actually already got their P10s. Now look at this. Let's say 40 people. And I'm not going to we're not even going to discuss personal production, what you do personally. Just from the efforts of your recruiting, if 40 people went out and did 150 tax returns, you would make $180,000 off of that production alone, not including what you may do personally, right? Just from your override from recruiting 40 people, if they averaged about 150 tax return. But I know that's unrealistic. They're not going to average 150 tax return. Now you'll have a few people who are go-getters, and they're going to go out there and hustle, who could do 150 or more their first year out. But the average person their first year out, they're not going to do that. But let's just say they average 75 tax returns. You still almost made a six-figure income, right? let's break it down even further. Let's say they all average 50 tax returns. That's still $60,000. So my point is, it's worth it to run that Indeed ad and recruit. You still have time if that's something you want to take advantage of. Now, we're not pressuring anyone to recruit. I said it over and over again. You do not have to recruit a single person. You do not have to share this. You do not have to take advantage of that. But for those who want to get that additional revenue stream, you can definitely take advantage of that. I definitely recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's optional, but highly recommended, right? So, and it just makes sense. Why not? You know, like I said, if you go out and get 40 people, and it doesn't matter. Let's say they average 75 people, but you only brought on 5 people. Still made an extra 11 grand. Are you mad at that extra $11,000? I know most people can use that extra $11,000, right? That's almost $1,000 a month. If you budget that out over the year, that's like putting an extra $1,000 a month into your household. Who couldn't use an extra $1,000 a month coming in, right? All right, so that's it. I'm not gonna ramble on and on and on because I get frustrated when I watch videos and people ramble. I'm like, get to the point. All right, well, I've made the point. All right, recruit. If you plan on recruiting, use the Indeed platform. That's the point, right? And I'll help you with that entire process. Just reach out to me if you have any questions on anything. The first thing is just set up your Indeed account and run that ad, right? And then as stuff start coming in, if you got questions, I'll teach you how to deal with those situations or how to handle any question or any challenge you may run into. But get it set up. All right, take the first step. That's the first thing you need to do. All right, y'all, that's it. I'll see you on the next video. Oh, and we did a new schedule for our Zooms. All right, we got multiple Zooms going on throughout the week, so make sure you check out our private Facebook page, and so you can see when those time slots are, what we're going to be talking about, and so you can get plugged in. All right, bye-bye now.